Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and now, this fourth Sunday, the final Sunday of our Advent journey, Prince of Peace. On this journey through Advent, we've learned some of what the early Christians were dealing with: the violence and unpredictability of the Roman Empire, the struggles for power. Everything was political. Everything went through one's power, the king. We can even get a bigger picture as to why they were waiting with such expectation and anxiousness for the new king, the Messiah. The term peace in this title is the word shalom. Shalom is the absence of hostility as well as the maintenance of a social system to promote the general welfare of the people around. The Old Testament leaders who might be most typical example of this was King Solomon, whose name is just a little bit of a play on the word shalom. But the difference is Solomon was far from a king of peace. Instead, he ruled with lots of weaponry and used cheap labor to do his tasks, and was far from someone who cared about the social justice or welfare of the people in the kingdom that he ruled. Can you imagine constantly living under this kind of oppression? Being told that all your leaders are doing is working for your best interest. They're leading you so that you are cared for. Yet, you are constantly feeling beaten down. It's not unlike any kind of peace that we would want to experience. And perhaps, maybe in recent months, this is something that you too have been feeling. The constant being beaten down by the never-ending political climate and the pandemic. Remember that old Heinz ketchup song? Well, the commercial, anyway. It wasn't the Heinz ketchup song, although we all called it that. There was a bottle of ketchup. A little kid was pouring it. And in the background we heard, anticipation, anticipation, it's making me late. It's keeping me waiting. And then finally, that blob of ketchup fell onto that juicy hamburger that we were just waiting to eat. And then you see the kid with a big smile on his face as that ketchup finally arrived. How many times did we pick up that bottle of ketchup and pour and pour and pour, trying to get it to come out of the bottle? That's only how I can imagine early Christians were. How they were feeling over the waiting of anticipation for this coming king that would bring peace to their world. They were waiting and waiting and waiting. This new king, the Prince of Peace, will be the one who will make sure his adversaries, all of those kings before him, who were so nasty and manipulative and oppressed people, he would make sure that they are disarmed. This is not a peace of negotiation or reconciliation. It is an imposed winner. What? A winner? Jesus is no prince. We know that. It's just a title. But he's linked to King David. So therefore, that's kind of how the prince title comes along. But we know that he was also from Nazareth. Nazareth, of all places. Definitely not a place that a king would be from. And after all, he had no royal lineage. It was all political. And it has nothing to do with his family at all. And although we don't really know for sure, I think Jesus probably doesn't want to be associated with anything political. At least, that's kind of how we see as he grows into his ministry. If anything, he wants to be linked as a Prince of Peace for social justice, for reaching out and caring for those whom were not in the best of place. Remember that very simple passage in Scripture? Jesus wept. Jesus weeps over Jerusalem. His heart is broken when he sees all the strife that is going on in this city that he loved. It was constant, and all he could do was cry. The peace that Jesus brings is not the peace that you and I think of. It's a peace of transformation. On Sunday mornings when we're gathered together, we go about the sanctuary and we say to one another, "Peace be with you." And in return, people say back to us, "Peace be with you." Shalom, shalom, peace be with you, peace be with you. The more time shalom, peace be with you, was shared with one another, the more blessings and peace you had. And if that peace was not returned to you by another, you kept that peace that you shared with the other. What a great gift. The gift of peace that we have because of Jesus in our lives. It does seem strange that Prince of Peace would be the final title given to Jesus. But does it really? We do, after all, come to this point in our Advent journey where we're just about to the stable where the baby lays. And after this journey through darkness, we will come to the light of that small child. That small child who brings us peace like we have never felt before. Oh, yes, indeed. We would like to have peace in our world. We would like to have peace in our communities. We would like to have peace in our nation. But really, it's the transformative peace of ourselves. And if we work to have that peace within, we can share that peace with others as we reach out and care for one another. And maybe, just maybe, as we share shalom, shalom, peace be with you, peace be with you, it will spread across our communities, across our country, across our world, and then truly we will have peace with one another.